Hey, how is ya? Welcome back to Gus's Garage. So I know it's been a while, but to be honest, I haven't been doing a whole lot in the shed. I just hate winter and haven't been motivated to get out here and work on the tonner. We'll have some news on the tonner though. I've entered it into Rocky Nats in April next year, so that's given me a deadline to work to. It's going to be one hell of a push to get it done, but I think if I got stuck in and had a good crack, I'd have it done. But the limiting factor is going to be budget. I don't think I'm going to have the money to have it ready by then. Also, I said I was going to have the 350 back together and sitting in the engine bay this episode. But now that it's warmed up, I want to get the ski boat back on the water. So that 350 come out of my boat, and I've now got the 400 Chev block at Hillman Motors in Rocky. They've acid dipped it, checked over it, checked the crank tunnel straight, honed it, so it's looking good. So I've started collecting parts for that now, and I'll be putting both of those motors back together shortly. I've been busy just buying and selling parts for the tonner, just collecting off a marketplace parts I thought I was going to use and then resold, and just collecting parts that I'm going to keep on the tonner now. So let's go check it out. Some wheels have come up for sale in Bundaberg that I'd love to buy and put on the tonner. And it's actually the guy that bought the center lines off my tonner. So I've offered him to swap for my 308. So he sounds keen. So we're off on a bit of a Sunday drive to meet halfway, see if we can do a deal. So I ended up scoring the wheels. They are Krager Superlights, which are the same as the World Racing drag lights, but World Racing stopped making these wheels for a period of time, and Krager was making the same design. The only real difference is they got a floating center in the hub there, but I'm bloody stoked with those wheels. I've always loved that style of wheel. They're actually the wheels I said I was going to put on the FB, but these come up in Bundy. The same bloke that bought the center lines off the tonner. So I didn't have the money to swap me 308 for them. So I'll be looking for another motor for the FB in the future. But these are 15 by 7 in fronts, 4.5 inch backspace. And rears are 15 by 8s with a 3.5 inch backspace. So that's putting me track pretty wide still with that 9 inch diff in it. So I might need to look at shortening that up. I found this nose cone on Marketplace down at Boyne Island. It's in really good condition. It's straight, no rust in it, and the radiator support panel is the same. And I've found that HZ grill in a rusted out front nose cone and radiator support that I bought from Gladstone. And I was pretty content with it until I seen a twin headlight front come up for sale in Yeppoon. So I've gone up and purchased that. So I was looking at taking the tray frame off the chassis. So I was just seeing what I needed to do there. And the exhaust pipes were bolted to it with brackets. So I've had to take the exhaust rod out now. And they were coming out the sides of it, each side of the ute. And I've only just noticed now that someone had cut a piece out of that bracket there. It's the reinforcement for the rear cab mount. So I'm going to need to patch that up, weld another piece in there, maybe find another cheap chassis or I can cut that section out, or try and bolt something up and patch that up. I've done a road trip to Yeppoon today, picked up some twin headlight front ends. So that radiator support panel is in pretty good nick. It's been sandblasted and primed. The only real fault with it is that little dent in the bottom rail there. That nose cone's been blasted. And people don't tell you the full story till you get there and you travel, go and look at parts. This one has had that corner section cut out and replaced, so it's welded that whole piece in. I'd probably tidy those welds up again if I want to use that. It come with a second one just as parts, but it's fairly straight, but it's rusty down in here. So be whacking them on. I picked up the front quarter panels from a bloke in Bundy. Same bloke who got the wheels off. They're straight, but they just have some rust issues in the bottom there on both sides, which you can buy the rust repair sections from Rare Spares. So I've got the whole front end just sitting on the car loosely. You can see the rust in the front there, and I'm thinking about putting the Welding GDS flutes in those quarter guards. So that's the bonnet that I already had before I even purchased the tonner. So it came from Jinjin, and it's got a neat little hole cut in it to suit the 350 Chev. Hornet scoop to go over it. I've got the twin headlight front sitting on it now. So one thing you soon learn when you're dealing with old cars and buying parts is you come across a lot of dishonest people. So when I travelled to Yeppoon today to look at this front end, I didn't know till I got there that that whole section in that corner had been cut off and a new piece welded in. So obviously the car that it was on was in an accident. And I told old mate that I was concerned about that I'd get it home, mount it up, and it wasn't straight. And he didn't say too much about it. So I've put my grill in, and have a look at this. That doesn't fit. It fits like shit. There's a big gap there, it's not pulling in. On that side that had the repair done to it. So I've tried that, set that grill on that other front end that it come with. It's got a bit of a rust issue with it, and it fits perfectly on that, so I might be able to salvage the other one out of pieces off of this front. Also that front bumper come from Benarabi. So it is really hard to find a decent condition front bumper for a HJ to HZ because they don't do reproduction ones. So I got it home, it's only just sitting there loosely as well. I think it is bent. Can't see it in the dark here, but it's got a crease there and it's got a crease there. And I know it's not bolted on probably, but it's not lining up. So I don't know, I might need to do some straightening on that or just keep looking for another bumper. Alright, so I've run out of beers in the shed, so hooroo, I'll catch you next time.